smelly. Fighting alien triceratops? Wonder where that was in the movies. Oh! Hi there. I didn't hear you knock in. Guess you're a little more earlier than I expected. Come to think of it, what am I reviewing today? Check the schedule here. Ah, Magic Island. No doubt, another glorious Moonbeam Entertainment film. Let's see here. I have a copy of it. Let's check here. Let's see here. No, Magic Island, Magic Mirror, nope, Magic Island. Huh. It appears it's missing from my collection. I'm free. I can skip this one out. Finally! I can take a break from all of those trubby, low-budgeted cheese flicks. Judy, you... Shoot, sir? Betrayed by my own! Why? Before we do, I must point out that the footage used for today's review is going to come from this VHS copy I discovered off of eBay. Magic Island has yet to be seen on a future DVD or Blu-ray release as of this video, but quite conveniently, to make it more interesting, I got a screener copy. Basically, the studio had sent out specialized copies of these movies to certain retail stores such as Blockbuster and other places just to see if they'd be fully interested to carry any rental units of their flick. Come to think of it, I wonder what kind of valuable promos they attach to these things. Well, kind of nice of them to lop on a trailer of the flick we're about to partake in, but are there any special deals that come with it?
When you buy 3 units of this magical adventure, you can save up to 11%, and you'll receive 25 free kid-sized telescopes. Perfect giveaways for an in-store promotion. Plus, a beautiful 5-foot standee, prominently featuring the movie star Zachary Ty Bryan.
Holy mackerel! 25 free telescopes, 11% off, and a cardboard standee! You know what this means? With memorabilia like this, it's probably worth a fortune at this point! Look at all the Disney tapes that are going for thousands and thousands of dollars. The value of that alone must truly equal the treasure that is this. Or they're probably going for 67 cents somewhere on Etsy. Wouldn't surprise me in the slightest. Okay, so hypothetically speaking, say I cannot afford Comedy Central because I decide to turn them off for canceling my Mystery Science Year 3000. What kind of stand-up shows can I rent from my local video store?
Tim Allen will rev you up with his turbo-powered wit.
Always scratch your ass when you're thinking. Because that's where a man's brain is.
Check out the hip-hopping, laugh-till-you-drop antics of In Living Color's wild man, Tommy Davidson. And TV's Grace Under Fire's Brett Butler brings her comic genius back to where it all began.
I am big. It's the sitcoms that got small.
Plus, 2 great consumer offers. Each specially marked Showtime Comedy Superstar cassette purchased includes a Showtime Comedy Club membership card. Good for 2-for-1 admission at over 170 major comedy clubs nationwide. Also in each cassette, a $10 mailing rebate on a new subscription to the Showtime channel.
As tempting of an offer as that is, I would rather save a couple of bucks and just watch reruns of Home Improvement, Grace Under Fire, and In Living Color, all on my glorious TV without any hassle. Thanks, syndication! Ho ho ho! Well, enough of that. I wonder what 1995 summer blockbuster Paramount is going to push to be a home video hit for the rental market.
Such thing as a gray gorilla.
I saw one.
Where man is the endangered species.
I never saw any animal move like that.
Congo.
Can't say no to Congo.
Coming.
Where? When? December? No, I can't wait that long for my guilty pleasure to come out. I guess it's just you and me, Magic Island, and you better deliver. Magic Island feels like the last true Moonbeam Entertainment flick, in my opinion. A balance between unique fantasy, despite being held back by forced comedy. Screenplay work was done by Neil Ruttenberg and Brent Friedman, and considering what they worked on, those are already some red flags. But don't be too alarmed, as directing duty went to Sam Irvin, who helmed the Oblivion movies and Elvira's Haunted Hills. Interestingly, Sam filmed and edited Magic Island right in between work on the Oblivion films. He chose this project because he wanted to do a pirate movie, while also a family film that had some edge to it. Ooh, some edge, you say?
Oh! An island god came down from the hills with big yellow claws, and he were 30 feet tall and green.
Let us proceed. The story centers on a kid named Jack.
Hi, Jack.
I couldn't resist. He's surrounded in a room of 1990s pop culture junk and video games, while having a mother that would rather work than celebrate his birthday.
If Gribben likes my pitch, honey, I could be in for big money. I mean, bigger than your dad ever made.
Hey, gotta do what you gotta do.
Well, on the bright side, at least they get the tropes and cliches out of the way fast. And I mean really fast. Seriously, in the span of nearly 9 minutes, all of the tropes just unpack themselves so we can get to the fantasy stuff quicker. It's a sacrifice on character depth, but hey, at least these things come and go quick. Before you point it out, yes, that is Home Improvement Zachary Ty Bryan as Jack. He does alright in the role and certainly is having a good time. Though maybe it's me, but he starts to channel Bruce Campbell later on with one-liners and smug delivery.
I gotta blow this hole. You just relax, sit back, and enjoy the show. Get real. I'm a sorcerer, in case you hadn't noticed.
For what it is, admirable at best. Come to think of it, maybe it's because I'm not with the times that often. What else has Zachary jumped onto?
My grandma's Buick could smoke that piece of shit trailer trash.
Bit part cameo in a never-ending franchise? Yawn!
Let go, Thor! You must see it through! Face your destiny! Thor, can you speak?
It's not possible. It was me.
Whoa. From Brad Taylor of Home Improvement to God of Thunder? It actually sounds better. So Jack decides to run away, but is stopped by their housekeeper, played by Janet Dubois. The solution? comes in the form of a knockoff cloning crossover between Pagemaster, Reading Rainbow, The Neverending Story, and any other pirate movie that was out during the 1990s.
Say it be in our family for over 200 years. It was written by one of my own kin, a lady named Marguerite. Grew up in Port Prince Haiti, she did.
200 years, my foot. That looks like it just came right off the printing press. Still, at least she's selling it better than Christopher Lloyd did in The Pagemaster.
You want adventure, excitement.
Sure, I guess.
You want to rescue the princess, save the universe.
Adventure, of course. You're a boy who loves adventure.
I need an adult! I need an adult!
As it turns out, the book was really magic, as it sucks Jack right into its pages.
Lucretia!
For God's sake! How do you stop it?
For the most part, when we see the world inside the book for the first time, there is some promise. We see some pirates and the rising tension for a sword fight, but what kills it is the addition of the cartoon sound effects, which remind me of the angle this movie is going for. I will admit, the slapstick and cartoon sound effects are not overly abused like Prehysteria 3, where everyone, even right down to the editors, just seemed like they didn't care. I can be a touch more forgiving here, because at least they don't blast your eardrums with constant noise. And as for the slapstick...
Don't be dropping your drawers in the presence of a lady.
And your mother, too!
It's poorly timed, doesn't have much effort, but at least it's not consistently lacking. I did read up from an issue on Cinefantastic that a lot of the cast were allowed to ad-lib, and I don't know if that hurts or adds to the humor. Given the natural delivery everyone has, it can be somewhat hard to spot when it's rambling and when it's actually dialogue from the script. Granted, I'd be more inclined to read the original written pages just to see when the cast decided to add their stuff in.
Morgan, let's get out of here.
Oh, good idea. Wait. What was that guy's name?
Prince Morgan Hildebrandt.
No!
So, tell me, Morgan.
No!
Morgan!
No! Did the planets and space align just to mess with me? Are pigs learning how to fly? Is Michael Bay finally directing an LGBTQ biopic? Is Antarctica on fire? Are one of the heads of Mount Rushmore replaced with Italian BMT sub from Subway? 171 episodes in, 10 seasons, and I finally review a movie that has a character who shares the same name as mine. It just doesn't get more coincidental than that. So Jack finds himself in the company of Prince Morgan, man, I feel weird for saying that, with plans to find buried treasure on the generically named Magic Island. I'd complain, but Treasure Island sounds generic too, and even that book is considered a classic. Accompanying him are Gwen, a feisty sword-clashing lass, and a spiritual knowledge guy named Dumas. Side note, I kinda like how the prince mentions Gwen is from Ireland just to explain the accent.
But if a demon he be, we must cut off his head at once.
Irish my big toe. She sounds more like she came from the lower berth of Bermuda. They're trying to get the treasure fast as they're on the run from Blackbeard and his trio. Blackbeard seeks to take over the crew and gain the island's treasure. I'll give it credit for this. The premise is simplistic and not too overly complex. After all, they're pirates. They're not trying to control the seven seas or go up against zombie pirates led by Javier Bardem. No. They're just here for treasure. Gold. Silver. Copper coins thrust into the empty trouser pockets, making a jingling sound. Curly-Q banknotes. Nice loaves of green lettuce, overstuffing into leather wallets. Pieces of plastic that carry all sorts of numbers, some into the 9-digit realm.
There is nothing quite as wonderful as money. There is nothing quite as beautiful as cash.
Ah, I'm drooling. Even cryptocurrency doesn't match that kind of pleasure. Anyway, I do like how the premise itself isn't overly complicated and has a basic linear journey. Just characters going from one point to another, bump into an obstacle, overcome, and move forward. But there's an added twist.
We banded together in England to flee the tyranny and repression of King George, who also happens to be my uncle.
We sailed the 7 seas in search of adventure. Do you guys know what year it is?
Why, the year of our Lord, 1796, of course.
The 1700s?
Yep, it's more than just a Pagemaster clone. And before anyone jumps through the fence and says this is a ripoff of Army of Darkness, oh no. It's way more than that. It's a clone of both the Wizard of Oz and a Confederate Yankee in King Arthur's court. I shouldn't be too surprised, given Mark Twain's novel is the grandfather of all time travel stories, at least next to H.G. Wells' Time Machine. The difference is Twain's book is more comedic and light, so obviously many other books and films that follow in the footsteps are bound to take more cues from Twain's source. In the case of Magic Island,
I've got some sugar-free in my bag if you'd like some of that instead.
it's predictable, but at least it's better than...
I hear you can make anything.
Indeed, I have that reputation.
What about this?
Are the circle builders themselves?
Come to think of it, the 15 years and 10 seasons I've been doing this show, how come I haven't come to actually covering that one? Oh well! Let's talk about the performances here, because almost everyone is all over the map. There are some exceptions, like Zachary Ty Bryan, who really tries to work in these one-liners, and at least is having fun. Everyone else very much decides to play comedic and less straight. Granted, there are moments when they do get serious, but only in little eye drops of character depth. I know I shouldn't expect anything here on a level of Shakespeare, but there's too much ham here, and nowhere near is that more clear than Andrew Divoff's performance of Blackbeard. I'll give the actor credit. At least he's having a good time, but Divoff just shouts his lines throughout the movie. He practically chews the scenery to the point there's nothing left but debris.
You're not worth your weight in pork fat. There's been no time for rum. I've got the slippery squid down for good. I found it! I found the tracks! I did it! I found it! Oh, curse you, sap! Do I have to do everything, missy?
Matey, look like a pirate and I smell like one too.
I mean, it's not like he moved on to a major horror franchise.
Careful what you wish for.
Okay, so this guy has dramatic chops after all. Prove me wrong once, shame on me. Even half of the time, I swear it sounds like he mispronounces the name of his bubbling assistant, Sapperstein. It almost sounds like he's shouting supper time.
Supper's time! Supper's time! Where's supper's time? We're done supper's time!
My name's French.
Yeah, well, who gives a damn?
And yes, that is French Stewart as Blackbeard's non-violent second banana, Supperstein. Basically a Diet Coke version of Smee, but if the humor was sucked out. Just written to be a clumsy fool, and there's very little about the character that is funny.
No. It's Steen, sir. Sapperstein.
That's what I said! Supper's time!
Look, everybody. I'm a sorcerer, too.
must remind myself that French Stewart has been in much worse. And the guy can actually do comedy! There's also a mermaid who joins Jack's company named Lily. She saves Jack from drowning and is granted a wish that allows her to walk on land.
When a mermaid saves a human's life, she's granted a wish to last the sun and the moon.
Hey Ariel, remember when you saved Eric from the shipwreck? You didn't need to consult an evil sea witch to get legs. All you had to do was wish for them. Don't you just love it when writers mess with traditional folklore for the sake of story convenience?
Pathetic.
I do kind of like it when she magically dons a seaweed skirt and sandals, because of course she would in a PG-rated movie. Lily is played by Jessie Ann Freend, whose only other credits include Frankie Starlight and General Hospital. I won't knock down the performance too much, but my guess is they wanted the character to be overly optimistic. She doesn't come across as annoying, but it does feel weird how her character is constantly excited as a puppy.
Take me with you, Jack. I've always dreamed of such an adventure. Oh, but I want none of your treasure. I would have no use for it.
You're talking to a tree.
It gave me a leaf to remember it by.
Hey, they just gave me an idea.
Tell me, Jack, what?
We're gonna send Blackbeard on a wild goose chase.
How thrilling, Jack. I love geese.
Look, I really like you and stuff, but I think we should just be friends. Bye.
But can the fantasy of Magic Island convince me otherwise? Let's take a small nostalgic break, and afterwards we shall see stop-motion stone guardians and sand shark puppets. Wait, what?
But her admirers had better beware, for now she was the leech woman.
It's a beautiful day. Why don't you kids do something different for a change?
Get outside.
Okay, Mom.
Introducing the great taste of new Taco Supreme flavored Doritos tortilla chips.
That was a good idea. That was a real good idea.
Can I persuade you to take a sandwich with you, sir?
I'll get drive-through. Introducing McDonald's Superhero Burger. Tomatoes, crisp lettuce, the great taste of 2 cheeses melted over 3 beef patties on a superhero bun. It's McDonald's Taste of the Month. Everyone's making a break for.
Welcome to McDonald's. May I take your order?
Street Fighter, the action-packed adventure of the year, is about to hit video stores everywhere.
We're coming!
Jean-Claude Van Damme, Raul Julia.
You'll have to do better than that.
Okay.
Street Fighter, coming soon to video cassette.
For a movie called Magic Island, one would expect high fantasy. But the magic in this movie is... For a movie aimed for a younger audience, there's some creative stuff here if you look past the cheapness. But some is pretty head-scratching. Dumas explains this island is home to a sorcerer named Kerbas that is guarding the treasure. And the closer they get to the treasure, the more powerful the magic of the island becomes. I would be okay with that if said sorcerer appeared earlier. Just something to indicate a hint of menace on the island, like a quick shot of him just looking around and being menacing or something of that nature. And when we do get to see Kerbas, it's just a face on the wall that talks. Maybe for a 1960s fantasy movie this could slide by, but I would have liked it more to have Kerbas as an ongoing presence, as opposed to a payoff delivered from exposition that you're most likely going to miss first time around if you don't pay attention. Also, Jack brings the book into the world, and every time he opens it, the pages show events that are about to take place. And future events in the pages don't appear unless they follow the events within the book. I guess that's how it works. Though the book itself only exists just to transport Jack from the past to the present once the events take place. For a movie that seems to have no limits, this is one thing I can kinda do without. The island itself is kind of interesting. Most of the scenes were filmed in Mexico to get a seaside look, because, of course, there's no beachfront property in Romania. And low budget as this movie is, at least Full Moon and Moonbeam know how to take the advantage of their on-location shooting. There are some obstacles they come across that are fun set pieces, but they only last so short. There's one where Jack runs into a tree that gives off food that anyone desires, that's guarded by, of all, the nefarious fantasy creatures.
Whoa! Oh! What the heck is that? Whoa! A sand shark!
Sand shark is cool, but it's nowhere near as deadly as the most clever of marine predators, the land shark. Mark Rappaport confirmed the sand shark puppet was really recycled from a baby Yowler puppet used for Dragon World, even right down to the same mechanisms. For a recycled puppet, it certainly had me fooled.
Hey, Sand Breath, why did you chew on this?
Double your pleasure with Hubba Bubba Pepperoni Gum. In between this scene and when we get to the temple, the rest of the movie is kind of on autopilot. I would have loved to see more major fantasy obstacles, but the closest we get is to a forest of ghosts and Aku Aku's lost siblings.
Shut your sucker, you harlot. No help will be given without my consent.
Fun fact, the angry Tiki Face is voiced by Isaac Hayes.
Hello there, children.
Hey, Chef.
Don't worry, he's like this with everybody.
And you blockhead, hold your tongue before I file it off.
With what?
I do kind of like it when the one that has a smiley face starts to beg and grovel to be taken along with the crew. Me thinks he's had enough of hearing Chef's song about his chocolate salty balls.
Suck on my chocolate salted balls. They're packed full of vitamins and good for you. So suck on my balls.
Most of the time we just stop for brief character development or brief recreations of Home Alone in the Jungle. It was the 1990s. Of course it's not a 1990s family movie without a Home Alone trap. Still, I gotta give credit for this joke.
What be that noise? What? I said, what could be that infernal racket?
It be you hollering in me ear!
Again, not all the humor in these Moonbeam Entertainment movies are bad. If there was just extra time during production to properly stage and execute these jokes, I would be fine. And I have no problem with these films being a comedy.
Forkin Sorcerer is obviously making a fool out of you. What, us. Me.
As long as the joke is good and properly executed.
Aye, I'll cut you down, Captain Sark.
Not like that, you stupid nut!
Gee, can't say I didn't see that coming.
Breakfast, lad.
And apparently I didn't expect to see physics take a vacation either. No, Dumas. That is Inkwater Lagoon. 3 miles away from here is Hawaiian Punch Falls. It's fair to say that when the aim is going straight for comedy, the attempt is going to be felt that way, in terms of how forced it will feel. At least Beanstalk nearly escapes this, because at least the cast picked for the part know what movie they're working in. Compared to our last flick, almost everyone goes for the goofy factor, making for a rather annoying romp. For me, I personally enjoy it better when people are fully committed to the flick. After all, the humor and timing will come from those who decide to play it straightforward, as opposed to constantly winking at the camera to remind you what you're watching.
And see you don't send none of them coconuts caressing down on me head.
Look out!
That guy got hit in the head with a coconut!
When the movie does stop to flesh these characters out, it kinda comes out of nowhere. I guess they try to have some sense of morals like running away or learning to be yourself, but these get so easily resolved. There's a moment where Prince Morgan talks about his real self, and it's kind of nice.
Never knew my mother. Always abroad she was, traveling and such. Ran away, I did. I really don't think it's good to run away. Only way I can return now is with the treasure.
Yet immediately that's followed up with something slapsticky.
Jack? Whose hand am I holding?
And then followed up with Zack coming clean about his sorcery stuff.
I don't know real magic. Prince Morgan should have never trusted me with the map in the first place.
And that gets resolved easily.
You've already saved your friends once, Jack. And if it was without magic, then how very brave you are.
I do admit, I'm kind of glad that something like this is only briefly mentioned and kind of brushed over and not made a big major focus on with moping and sobbing and things like that. But given how the whole group relies on Zack's magical bag of tricks, you'd think something like that of a reveal would be a bigger impact to the entire group instead of just one person. When it's not plotting around, Magic Island does come to life for the final 15 minutes, as Blackbeard forces Jack to open up the temple, or else his newfound friends will be killed. However, it's protected by a stop-motion stone guardian that is kinda cool at best. The Guardian was animated from David Allen's department, but under the care of Joel Fletcher, who did stop-motion work for Subspecies 3, Puppet Master 5, and the Oblivion movies. It's definitely a nice throwback to the Harryhausen days of Talibus menacing Jason and the Argonauts.
Where do you think you're gonna put a tree that big? Bend over and I'll show you.
Coincidentally, a similar stop-motion Stone Guardian scene was used for the Dungeon Master during Charles Band's Empire days.
I reject your reality and I substitute my own.
Although, as cool as a laser shooting Stone Guardian is, this one here gets a bit more screen time. There is just one major drawback, and it's how this thing gets dispatched.
I say.
Garden Rake Foo. Garden Rake Foo. Who knew the way to get past this thing was by means of a joke one could see on The Simpsons? Once they get into the temple, they get more than treasure. Apparently they find themselves on the set of Prehysteria. When I was young and seeing this for the first time, that drove me nuts, recognizing the same wall decor from the South American temple that hosted the 5 frozen dino eggs. And to make it more confusing, does that mean the Prehysteria movies are canon in this universe? Oh, enough of that. I do like it when they awaken Krabas and he goes on a spiel of them being trapped in his domain, and Blackbeard just shuts him up mid-monologue.
I am Carbasus, all-powerful sorcerer.
Never heard of you!
Do not interrupt me. You think you are so clever to have made it this far, but will your luck last a lifetime?
Consequences, schmonsequences, as long as I'm rich.
So Blackbeard turns to gold, I guess because he was holding something that made him turn to gold, or the sorcerer did it. Now, whatever. The temple starts to enclose on our heroes, but oh noes! Lily turned back into a mermaid! Wait, was that Kerbas's doing, or was there a time limit on the wish he made? Oh, never mind. The better we don't question it, the more we get closer to the end.
Welcome to my treasure, Blackbeard. Me like Captain Blackbeard, Conchi is.
So Lily goes back into the sea, Captain Morgan and the crew get their treasure from a rug Zack used to save his fish friend, the rest of Blackbeard's crew sides with the good guys, and before we have our super mega fun happy ending, we need one more random twist to remind us Zack traveled to the past.
And I will introduce you to my Marguerite.
She waits for me in Haiti, Port-au-Prince. And impressed she will be of my tales of your magic, my chap.
That's Lucretia's ancestor. She wrote this book!
No! Dumas! I have to tell you about the future! On the day I go back! Oh. Too late. They hint the whole thing wasn't a dream, and to top it all off,
I didn't end up staying for dinner after all. Maybe you can whip us all up something to eat, huh?
I figured you two need a late night snack, so I ordered you pizza.
Cool.
the only thing that would make this widely memorable is if they did something stupid like have the pizza guy be the sand shark this whole time. I know it wouldn't make any sense, but hey, at least it would have added something to this harmless family fantasy flick. And that's the best way to describe this movie. Harmless. It still carries the same problems from the other Moonbeam films we reviewed, but at least there's nothing I can think of that makes it bad or offensive here. It just carries a bunch of hammy acting, slow spots that drag, and some special effects that honestly still hold up well, except the digital Doctor Who tunnel travel thingy. The only best way to recommend this movie is that it's a pure product of the 1990s.
To me, you kind of look like a grunge band.
It is true, we banded together in England.
Even right down to some of the stuff in Jack's room. Hook action figures, Dick Tracy trading cards, full moon movie posters, and a Game Boy. It doesn't soak itself up in what was trending at the time, but enough to respect some of it. If you're looking for something more seaworthy, just do a double feature of Muppet Treasure Island and Cutthroat Island. At least you'll get double the camp from Muppet Pirates and an overly budgeted adventure flick with money that was damn well spent. As for Magic Island, it's fine, but probably not quite the buried treasure you're looking for. Finally, another one bites the dust from the Moonbeam. You know, the more I think about it, maybe it wasn't such a good idea covering these films. They just keep getting lamer and lamer and lamer. What was that? Turn the TV on. Can I afford to trust you?
What are you two after? Tigers? Buffalo?
Something even more dangerous.
We're searching for a Yeti.
They must have been living here unchanged for 50,000 years.
Life forms developing in a controlled environment.
A purpose! At long last, the Primevals is getting released! David Allen will not go down in vain. The magnum opus of all lost movie magnum opuses is to be released. No longer am I doing this as some such childhood revisit silly quest. I have a purpose! I will continue to review these Moonbeam Entertainment movies just for the sake that I know there's gold at the end. No matter how bad, strange, or weird these get, Season 10 will end with the Primevals, hell or high water. This is no shot I'm talking about here. I will do this in honor of a great stop-motion special effects wizard that gave it his all. For the sake of these B-movies, no matter how good or bad they are, because they did this just for one movie. if it's living up to the hype that it is, then by God, I shall continue my quest in honor of the man and never stop to break the mold. I'm doing this for David Allen, man, and the Prime Evils. There's just one tiny thing. This is season 10. You guys deserve something grand and great. Especially given now that I'm halfway through this season. I can't keep doing this. There's gotta be something special and unique I can do at a time like this. But what? How? And why? Something that is currently trending at this time. Something that is getting much talk about and a lot of hype. Something that connects to my own personal nostalgia that gives me a pure excuse to examine. But until I know what that is, a little reading and thinking might help. Let's see. Where did I leave off? Light bulb. Cut.
Man, these guys are lame.
Lame, you say?
Yeah.